Welcome to EPG Patasala. I am Professor Venkata Reddy, Director, Sri Venkateswara Oriental Research Institute, Sri Venkateswara University. In this paper, Vedic Epics in Purana Culture of India, in this topic we dealt with the origin and development of Ramayana. Before going to the introduction, the origin and development of Ramayana, there are some important occasions in this chapter. Before writing the Ramayana, Adikavi Valmiki asked some questions. Says Narada, I want to write an ideal Kavya, an ideal Mahapurusha. Then Narada replied that, oh Valmiki, you see the Rama is the ideal person. Tapasvajjaya niratam, tapasvi vagyaramaram, naradam paripapracha, Valmikir manipungavam. This is the answer by the Valmiki. Oh Valmiki, you please go to the history, Rama's history. He is the contemporary ideal person in this world. Please, you go to the history of Rama to write the Adikavya. Then Valmiki begins the Ramayana Mahakavya. That's why he became the Adikavi. Ramayana became the Adikavya. The Adikavya Ramayana is the one of the Indian best classical in the world. Not only in India, it is popular entire world. That's why Ramayana sung in the various languages, in various places, in various countries. First of all, the Ramayana story sung by the Rama's sons only, Lava and Kukusha. This is the introduction of the Srimad Ramayana written by says Valmiki. Learning objects of the present module. Learn about the origin of Ramayana. Evaluate the evolution of Ramayana in India. Evolution of Ramayana in the globe. How timelines of Ramayana calculated. Ramayana is considered as Adikavya of Indian literature. It has evolved in various languages of Indian at various stages of history. There are many versions available all over the world, but the base of all these flavors is considered as Valmiki Ramayana. In this context, we have to explain something about the historicity of Ramayana. Ramayana is not a devotional story, it is the historical work also. In this work itself, the Valmiki told that Ishwakuvamsa Prabhavo Ramo Nama Janeswataha. In this sloka, he explained about the dynasty of Sri Rama and also flavors of the Ramayana story in this context of in this sloka. Indians are the one of the oldest civilization of the planet. As Indians, we are really proud of our ancient history and cultural heritage of India. There is one man who influenced and touched the hearts of millions of thousands of years. It is not only in India, but also all over the world, Rama's glory is sung. Rama is one of the greatest men liked by both common men and elite and alike. His strength of character is Sri Rama, the hero of Ramayana Kavya. Ramayana's emergence in the innumerable versions in the various languages is discussed here. The timelines of the epic character is evaluated by the Puranic and scientific astrological means. That's why in the Sri Rama Rama Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tatulyam Ramanama Varanane. That is the importance and all the devotional and mythical evidence of Rama's name as the important the Indian devotional picture. Ramayana in India. Valmiki is the author of great Indian epic Ramayana. Valmiki and Sri Rama were the contemporaries. Valmiki has a unique place as an author. One can conclude that he has written his Ramayana as a history, not as a devotional book. During his lifetime in exile in the forest, Sri Rama visited Valmiki Ashramam. Valmiki Ramayana contains descriptions and reference to the ancient term. For this evidence, I say the Valmiki and Rama were the contemporaries. In the Valmiki Ramayana, Valmiki itself tells in the one sloka, Ikshwakuvamsa Prabhavo, Ramo Nama Janeswataha, Mahorasko Mahobaho, Godajutta Tadavindamaha. That is sloka that Rama and the Valmiki are the contemporaries, and also In another sloka also, Valmiki indicates Rama and Valmiki are the contemporaries. Asmin Sampradaye, Asmin Samprati Loke, Konvasmin Samprati Loke. In this word, Valmiki told that Rama and I contemporaries. Valmiki completed writing the Ramayana in 24,000 verses. The Ramayana epic is divided into 7 kandas. It is called sections. Bala, Ayodhya, Aranya, Kishkinda, Sundara, Yuddha, Uttarakandas. There are many Ramayanas, but they are all written much later and of all refer to the seer Valmiki. In this context, I want to refer some names. In all Indian languages, so many Ramayanas were written, but they are all written on the basis of Valmiki Ramayana. They took the episodes from the Valmiki Ramayana only, and also Valmiki followed the meter Chandas Hanushtup only. But later Ramayanas, they took their own interpretations and also they took own Chandas to write the Ramayana in various languages. At the beginning of poetry in India and the first poet, Ramayana is the Adikavyam. Ramayana is the first poetry available in India composed by the Valmiki. This has served as a role model for the later poets. Tulasidas, Kamban, Kabir Das, Mulla, Ranganatha, Tyagaraja, etc. There are as many as 300 versions of this great Indian epic poem. The oldest version is generally recognized to be the Sanskrit version attributed to the sage Valmiki. In this context, I want to refer you one sloka because the Valmiki Ramayana first poem, it is the Machanda Deva Pravarteyam Saraswati. This is the word uttered by the Valmiki itself in the Ramayana. Later poets will follow the Chandas as followed by me only. That is the important. All later poets are followed the Valmiki's rule for the poetessness and also classic beauty of Ramayana. Adikavi Valmiki. Ramayana was the first mythical work dealing with the secular subject and hence it is called Adikavyam. The author Valmiki is known as Adikavi. Valmiki Maharshi invented sloka, that is first verse or epic meter, and has set the base for the Sanskrit poetry. Valmiki is celebrated as harbinger poet in the Sanskrit literature. As for the evidence, he lived in the first millennium of BCA. Ramayana in various Indian languages. Even years after Valmiki, many poets have described the story of Ramayana in their own words and own style till the date. There are many poets of Ramayana has found in the history of Indian literature. The original Valmiki version has been adopted or translated into various regional languages. That's why Valmiki and also Ramayana influenced the various Indian languages for the follow of this epic. In Telugu, some poets differ the Valmiki's episodes. They only created their narratives, but without disturbing the original characters. That is the importance, that is the greatness of Ramayana. Here, under a few of the most prominent Sanskrit versions of Ramayana, many Sanskrit poets adopted Valmiki's narrative. There are other peripheral stories. Adhyatma Ramayana or spiritual Ramayana is extracted from the Brahmanda Purana, which considered as an work of Vedavyasa. It is thought to be the inspiration of Tulasidas Ramachandramanas in Avadhi. Adhyatma Ramayana tells the story from the perspective of Rama's divinity. It is organized in the 7 kandas, just like Valmiki. You see that Adhyatma Ramayana of Tulasidasa, he mentioned the first sloka praying the goddesses Saraswati, Vigneswara, both also. It is the influence of Rama. Vardanam, Arthasanganam, Rasanam, Chandasam api, Mangalanam cha Kartaro, Vande Vani Vinayako. It is the Pradhana sloka of Ramcharitmanas to Tulsidas, it is also influenced by the Valmiki Ramayana. Vasishtha Ramayana, it is also commonly known as the Yoga Vasishtha. This work is traditionally attributed to the Valmiki. It is a dialogue between Vasishtha and Rama. Vasishtha clarifies many of the principles of Advaita Vedanta. It includes many anecdotes and illustrative stories. And also, Vasishtha Ramayana influenced not only Sri Rama but the entire India and the Advaita philosophy methods. In Vasishtha Ramayana, he told about the systems of yoga, education systems, ashrama systems. It is also followed by the Valmiki Ramayana. Mainly in Vasishtha Ramayana, he explained about the yoga systems, how to control the body. Samatsama yoga vachati. As Bhagavad Gita told, in the same manner in Vasishtha Ramayana also, Vasishtha explains the Rama about the yoga shastra. Samatsama yoga vachati. Yoga samyagame jnanam samyagaveshanam dokramo chittanasasya yogo jnanancha raghava yogatta turdirodohi jnanam samyagaveshanam. This is the verse uttered by the Vasishtha Ramayana to Sri Rama on the context of teaching of yoga. Laghu Yoga Vasishtha by Abhinandana of Kashmir is an abbreviated version of Yoga Vasishtha. Ananda Ramayana is traditionally attributed to Valmiki, while it briefly recounts the traditional story of Rama. In this context, I want to say one thing. So many poets and writers written Ramayana, but they put the name of Valmiki as the author. Because of the popularity of this work, all of these people put the authorship attributed to the Valmiki. Agastya Ramayana is also traditionally attributed to Agastya. Adbhuta Ramayana, traditionally attributed to Valmiki, includes related stories of Rama. Its emphasis is on the role of Sita and includes an expanded story, the circumstances of her birth as well as the account of her defeat of Ravana's older brother, as also known the Ravana, but with the 1,000 heads. In Puranas, in so many places, Ravana described as 1,000-headed demon. But in Valmiki Ramayana, he revealed that the 10-headed demon is the Ravana. Hindi Goswami Tulsidas Ramacharitmanas. Of all the Indian origin of Ramayanas, Ramacharitmanas has the special place in India, especially in North India. Goswami Tulsidas is the author of his version of Ramayana. Tulsidas was born to the Hulsi and Atmaram Shukla Dubey in Rajpur, Uttar Pradesh, India in 1532. He was considered as an incarnation of sage Valmiki. It is said that the Tulsidas met Lord Hanuman and through him had a vision of Sri Rama, Lord Rama. Out of Tulsidas' 12 books, the most famous is the Ramacharitmanas, that is read with the great rivers in North India. He was cremated at the Asi Ghat in holy Varanasi on the banks of Ganges river. Telugu Kavayatri Malla Ramayanam. Tamil Kambar Ramayana. Kambar Ramayana was written by Kamban, was born in the 9th century near Tanjore. In his epic, there are 10,418 verses in 6 kandas with no Uttarakanda. This poem is the great epic in Tamil literature. Mostly Kamban gives his narration in the colors of his own times of place, and still in Kambar Ramayana, Sri Rama is the Supreme Lord. Evolution of Ramayana in global languages. As already I told, the Ramayana influence in not only India, its influence has spread in so many countries. Ramayana has spread to the many Asian countries outside of India, which have often been marked more or less by the plot twists of thematic adaptations. In various forms of the original Ramayana has found in non-Indian languages such as Chinese, Cambodian, Indonesia, Filipino, Thai, Burmese and Malaysian, etc. The famous works of out of this side India are Thai Ramkin, Old Javanese, Kakavin Ramayana, Khmer Remenkar, Lavo Para, Lak Para. These are the Ramayanas already popularly known in the globe. Archaeological evidences. The widespread prominence of Ramayana Kavya all over India and abroad proves it is not a fiction. It is a story of great Indian ruler who lived times back. The substance, the Ramayana is not only a fictionist creation. There are many evidences in support such as archaeological, Puranic, geographical, astronomical. Is Ramayana is the part of Indian history? In Ayodhya, in 1975, the Archaeological Survey of India, ASI it is called in abbreviations, unearthed 14 pillar based of Kasauti stone with Hindi motifs. Rama was born in the Ayodhya and married in Mithila, now in Nepal. Mithila is Sita Matri, where Sita was found in a furrow, still revered as the Janaki Kund, constructed by her father King Janaka. Rama and Sita left Mithila for Ayodhya via Lumbini. In 249 BC, King Ashoka erected a pillar in Lumbini with an inscription referring to the visits by both Rama and Buddha to the Lumbini. Archaeological evidences. Sri Lanka also has the relics of Ramayana. There are several caves such as Ravana Elia Falls, where Ravana is believed to have hidden Sita to prevent Rama from the finding her. The Sitai Amman temple at Numara Elai is situated near Ashoka Vatika, where Ravana once kept her the prisoner. Geographical evidences. Rama and Lakshmana and Sita left Ayodhya and went to Sringaveripura. Modern Sringaveripur is in Uttar Pradesh, where they crossed the river Ganga. They lived on the Chitrakoot hill, where Bharata and Shatrughna met them, and brothers performed the last rites for their father. They wandered through Tandakaranya in central India, described as a land of demons. Tribals are still found in this forest. The trio reached Nasik and the river Godavari, which thrums with the sights and the events of still in Rama's journey through a Tapovan, Panchavati near Bhadrachalam, where the Ravana abducted Sita. Rama and Lakshmana in search of Sita moved to Kishkinda near Hampi, is a major Ramayana site. Anjanadri near Hospet was the birthplace of Hanuma. Sugriva lived in the Rishamukha on the banks of Pampa, now Tungabhadra. Rama and the Vanara army reached Rameshwaram, where they built a bridge to reach Lanka from Dhanushkoti on Rameswaram island to the Talaimannar in the Sri Lanka, while parts of the bridge as known as the Adam Bridge are still visible. NASA's satellite has photographed an underwater man-made bridge of the Sholas in the parks of states connecting Dhanushkoti and Talaimannar. Puranic evidences. Our great Maharshis have systematically divided the period of Srishti into the Manvantaras. Each Manvantara is further divided into the Chaturyugas. Each Chaturyugas consists of the Krita, Satyayuga, Treta, Dwapara, Kali. The present Manvantara is Vaivasvata Manvantara. So far, 27 Manvantara Chaturyugas have already been passed. In this context, I want to mention one thing. Present in every puja system, in every performance, in the Sankalpa, we recalls the Manvantaras, Vaivasvata Manvantare, Kaliyuge, Pradhamapade, Jambudvipe, Bharatavarshi, Bharatakande. This is the form for the geographical measurements of the land also indicated in Ramayana. Right now, it is the 28th Chaturyuga, and we are still in the first Charan period of the Chaturyugi. It is a well-known fact that Rama was born during the latter part of Treta. Hence, if we assume that Rama was born in the present Chaturyugi, then it means that he was born at least 1 lakh years ago. The period of his birth will probably be more than this. However, Vayu Purana provides us the correct chronological period of the Ramayana, if we take Vayu Purana's period into the consideration, then the period of Rama becomes at least 18 lakhs years old. Hence, we can easily conclude that the period of Rama in the time scale is the at least 18 lakhs years. Puranic evidences. Ancient Indian literature, Puranas gives us various accounts of dynasties and places which are historical prominence. Descriptions about fauna and fauna gives evidences. Some evidences given below. When Hanuma traveled to the Sri Lanka in the search of Sita, over there he saw elephants having 4 texts. It is up to biological to ascertain when did such elephants exist on the earth. Another interesting fact that has been mentioned in Valmiki's Ramayana is that the journey from the maternal home of Bharata and Shatrughna to the Ayodhya, they crossed many places, rivers, and some places covered by the snow matches with the modern day of Afghanistan and Uttar Pradesh. In this context, I want to mention one thing. In Kalidasa also, in Kumara Sambhava, he mentioned his first sloka about the borders of India. Like in Ramayana also, Aschuttara Syam Dishadevatatma, Himalayo Nama Naghadi Rajaha, Purva Parvatoya Nidhi Vigahya, Sthita Pragruhya Iva Manadandaha. So that we want to learn that the Puranas and also Itihasas, not only the devotional and mythological works, these are the historical works also. Astrological evidences based on the planetary positions using planetarium's gold software. These are all the pictures for the evidence of astrological evidences. It is a modern software. The historical evidence can be mainly by astronomy. Some historians use the modern software. As of now, many scientists based on the astronomical data have propounded that Rama existed around 7000 BC. They have arrived at the conclusion based on using astronomy software, which can give astronomical positions accurately to the centuries backwards. It is based on comparison with the planet positions mentioned by the Valmiki in the various instances. Rama had completed 17 years of his age. At his coronation, Rahu takes the 18,5992 years to the completes its rotation. Therefore, before 17 years, the Rama's birth, Rahu must have been near its original position in the Aries. Acquired from US, the software named the Planetarium Gold of Forgave Publishing, which is used to predict the solar and lunar eclipses and distance and the location of other planets from Earth by the scientists and the astronomers. At the time of coronation of Rama, his father Dasaratha says, the sun and Mars and Rahu are at my nakshatra. He talked like this in Chaitra. When the sun always resides on the earth, it indicates that Dasaratha's nakshatra was Elias. Rama has completed 17 years of his age at his coronation. Rahu takes 18.5992 years to complete his rotation. Therefore, before 17 years at Rama's birth, Rahu must have been near its original position in Aries. Many scholars calculated that 7323 BC as the year of Rama's birth. Planetarium Gold will show how all these planets show the positions as told by the Valmiki. Then my suggestion is you go to see the everything in Rama's birth in the Planetarium Gold. It will show everything. From these positions of the planets, if we calculate, we find the positions 17 years later, which are similar to those recorded by the Valmiki at the time of coronation. By deeper calculations, Rama's birth date was confined as the 4th December 7323 BC. By similar calculations, scientists found out the dates Rama's marriage at the 7th April 7307 BC and Bhadrapada Suddha 3 Uttara Palguna Nakshatra. Now we are following the same thing. They went to the forest on 29th November 7306 BC on Thursday. Valmiki mentions Thursday when Rama's coronation was proposed, but he had to go to forest on the same day. The weekdays are being used in India since Taittiriya Samhita 8300 years BC. Ravana was killed on the 15th November 7292 BC. The war took place from 3rd November to 15th November 7292 BC. These are all astronomical evidences. Conclusion. Ramayana is considered as the most popular creation and historical epic created by sage Valmiki. It is a powerful story, though it is very simple events in the life of Sri Rama. People from ages read, listened, and underwent scarcity since the years. It is told and retold multiplied times in many languages and considered many sacred epic all over the world. Oral literature transmits culture from one generation to next, creating the sense of community. The Ramayana in India has retained its continuity due to its religious significance. Often oral literature is propagated through the voice of people. Ramayana also proved that it is not just a fictional work. It recorded many of historical evidences, celestial, astronomical facts, and physics evidences like Ramasetu. Finally, I want to say one sloka about the importance and the greatness of Ramayana. It is said that the greatness of Ramayana and Adikavi Valmiki, there is one verse written by the Indian Maharshis, Yavasthasyanti Girayaha Saritascha Mahitale Tavad Ramayana Kata Lokeshu Pracharishati. The sloka indicates as in the earth, sun and Mars, etc., planets live, the Ramayana will live. That is the Ramayana is not a poem. It is like a Veda. It is Sanatana work. It is eternal work. It is the important great classic of India. Further any references you contact with the E-Pathshala.